Happy Monday. Happy first day of fall. It is the 22nd of September. It's the first day of fall. Technically not officially because it doesn't start for like an hour. But I just taught my classes for the morning. This last class, it was these two best friends. They were the only ones in class. They were so funny. They literally started like funny arguing, but arguing in class twice. It was so funny. We were just vibing. We were just doing really well. And at the end, one of them, the one that was chatterboxing more, she was like, "Can I ask you a personal question?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." She goes, "Are you a student at UCLA?" I was like, "No, why?" She was like, "You just look like you're of the age of a student and you go to UCLA." I was like, "No, I graduated like years ago, but thank you, because that means you think I'm like 21. But also I was like, "Why UCLA?" She goes, "I know you say you're Armenian, but you give Persian, and I feel like Persians go to UCLA." I was like, "That's so funny." I was like, "That's really random, but okay, thank you." And then she told me she was studying to go to law school because she's done with her undergraduate, but she's studying to go to law school. But before she said law school, she was like, "Oh, I was like in the interim before I go to graduate school." I was like, "What graduate school?" She goes, "Law." I was like, "Yeah, I knew it because you're Jewish and it looks like it." They were so funny. They were like, "You can tell we're Jewish?" I was like, "Yeah, I can tell from the face." Because they were like the clothes they were wearing, I guess, is very Jewish too. But anyway, very funny. I love them. I cannot wait to see them again. They were hilarious. And that really raised my mood because the class before that, she was rather late to class, and I'm gonna start enforcing those because it's just rude. Like, you're being rude to your instructor if you're really late to class. So these girls weren't late, but we started late because we were just talking. But I went overtime to give them the full class. But anyway, I am wearing my workout clothes, but I did bring a change of clothes, and I'm gonna change so that I feel like I'm working rather than in workout clothes. And then we're gonna get to work. I have my admin work to do first, and then I need to edit last week's vlog, which is probably gonna be long. And then I need to do a little bit of research, but I need to email one of the clients that came into the open house yesterday. Watch the last week's vlog to see that. And then I want to get on to by the way, I'm probably not gonna do all of this here. I might do some of it at home. I want to get onto Shopify to start posting my ebooks. Although I decided this on, I think, somewhere in the 13th to the 15th of September. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going over. I'm gonna start doing it all on my website and TikTok shop and stuff. Well, the ebook on my website. And then I went on the 16th or 17th or something to my Kindle, to my KDP. Because currently the catcher series, when you're in KU, it puts automatic renewal unless you turn it off, and it renews every 90 days. So for 90 days you're locked in, you have to be in it. So I was going in to turn the automatic renewal off for the catcher series, and I had just renewed 2 days prior. So it was probably the 16th I went to do this. I had just renewed on the 14th. The catcher's novels. Well, yeah, the catcher's novels had just renewed on the 14th, which means they have to be in KU until December like 10th or 12th or something. The catcher's novellas had renewed in August, so they have to be in KU until November like 10th or so. So in November I will move the novellas over, and then in December I'll move the novels over, and I mean they'll still be on KDP and stuff, but you'll have to buy it. You won't just get it through KU. And also, I'm not sure if you could do this, so I'm gonna do some research. I mean, I've got time. I've got until December. But if you can do it, no, I forgot. That wasn't my plan. I was gonna say, if you can do it, I'm gonna lower the price of the ebook on my website. But actually, that wasn't. Was that the goal? Yeah. It was the goal. It was keep the pricing as it is now for the catcher series, so like $5 for a book, or I think it's $2 for the novellas. But I was gonna make it $4 for the book on my thing. I don't know if KDP will allow that, because I think they go, like, if someone goes, I found it cheaper somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I might try that, because then they'll incentivize people to go to my website instead, and I'll still be making more money than if I sell it for $5 on KDP. So yeah, those are all my plans for the day. But first, we're gonna go change. It's 2:35. I've been working for hours. I'm currently waiting for my YouTube video to upload. I have recently lost 2 videos because of last week's vlog. Not last week's, not this one, the one before that, the one by Charlie. So whatever. 58 of y'all. I really don't care. These honestly I make for myself, and if you enjoy them, even better. But I spent 2 hours or so doing the admin work, an hour and a half editing this vlog because it's 52 minutes long. And then it took a while to import because it kept failing. Now it's uploading, and that takes a little bit just because it's a longer video. And in between, I'm doing more of the admin work. I have probably like 4 more hours of that admin work left for the week, so I don't have to get it done today, but I will try to get another hour or 2 done today. But yeah, I have been very, very productive. I've done Pilates, I've done editing that YouTube video, which I count as author business, even though this not much comes from this, but it's okay. And I've done 2 hours of the admin stuff. I haven't done anything for real estate yet, but I do need to reach out to that client. But yeah, part of me kind of wants right now. Oh, I also just went on to my website and I changed the newsletter sign up to my Substack, just because I don't want to pay $420 a year for a newsletter that no one cares about. So I'd rather have you on Substack, and then you get it for free, or you can subscribe there and you could pay there, but then I don't have to pay, you know. Especially considering how poorly, if you watch last week's vlog, the one that's currently uploading, you'll see how poorly financially this other business is doing. So, you know, if I could save a few $100s, I'm gonna do it. I got distracted. I get distracted really quickly. I was gonna say, I kind of want to right now go get my Shopify account. It says it'll be $1 for the first 3 months, $1 a month for the first 3 months. But I don't know. I think it's still gonna make you pay for the whole year, and then those 3 months you don't pay for. I'm guessing. I don't really know. I kind of want to do that and start uploading the ebooks. Hello. It's about to be 6 p.m. I'm home. I just took a quick body shower to like warm up my body. Oh my god. I just spent over an hour, like probably an hour, 10, 15 minutes at the back of a Tesla. I've never before felt car sickness, and then, to be fair, at the beginning of having Tesla, I didn't feel it either. But recently, these past few months, it hits me sometimes. And I was in there for over an hour. I was just trying to hold in the throat. It was just bad. I'm still trying to get my bearings. I ate half my sandwich that I had left over because I was like, maybe I just need more circulation because I haven't really eaten today. Didn't really help. I took that shower. That, I think, helped a little bit. I do have tea that I'm about to drink, and I have my sparkling water, which I had a little bit of so far. I'm gonna drink some more because I do think this helps. But yeah, I did before we left, because my sister-in-law came to work out and then we left together. You see brain fog, because I'm telling you, it messes me up being in the back of that Tesla. I did do like 15 minutes of real estate very quick because I sent out an email for something. So far today, I've gotten like 6.5, almost 7 hours of work done, which is a lot considering I haven't had a day like that in a while. Tomorrow, I was going to go caravanning, but it's Rosh Hashanah, so I don't think most places are going to be open. So I think instead, we'll see, but I think instead we're going to be at the coffee shop working on bees. Oh, it's going so well, by the way. It's so good. And I hate it because at the beginning of my projects, I always feel this good about something. And then by the end, you just get bored of it. You get tired of it. And I just want this feeling to continue the whole time, especially because not only do I need it to continue for the whole of writing beasts, but also to write Faith. Because I need to have the same mentality and the same story and background and stuff to write Faith. Tuesday. I just finished doing my laundry. I still didn't put all that away. It is 3 p.m. I went to my tattoo removal this morning because it's almost done. It's right here. It was actually really funny because like you could see like the little icicles from the cold that they put on it. I did that, and then I came home instead of going to the coffee shop because I figured everything I was gonna go do there I could do here, and more comfortability. Plus I needed to do the laundry because finally I could get a spot when no one else was doing it. And then I did the admin work from yesterday, same thing, for like an hour and a half. And then I started putting my stuff onto Shopify. So I now have everything on Shopify. I now need to connect it to my website. I think I'm gonna make personal pages rather than the Shopify pages. I'm not sure yet, but I still need to do all that. Also, I reopened my TikTok shop. I haven't added the products back in yet because I have to take pictures of everything, but I'm gonna start doing that because I do have like 10 copies, not that many, so I could do it with just those and have an inventory of like 1 or 2 for each. And then when my actual copies that I bought last week come in on, it says the 9th of October, so when they come in, and then I can add more. It still won't be a huge inventory, but still I can start promoting that. That spider's been there for like days. So it is hours later. I went to the studio to teach my 2 classes. My second one, my brother and his 3 friends were at the studio because they're gonna like be fixing stuff in the back. So they took my 7 p.m. class and they were with me. It just goes to show that boys, it's hard. But I have since finished the entire setting up the shop on Shopify and on my website. So now you can buy the ebooks on our website. The audiobook for Buttercup Baby, I don't have up yet because I have the files as individual files. So like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, individual. I don't have one where it's all together because on Findaway, which is where I sell my audiobooks, you put it in individually per chapter. So I need to figure out how to do that so I can sell it on my website as well. And then paperbacks, I just don't have up yet because 1, I haven't taken any of these pictures, but also I need to wait for the inventory to come in. So I might put these up, I might not, we'll see. And then my TikTok shop, again, I didn't take the picture, so I didn't start that yet, but I think that's what I'll probably use. The inventory I have currently for is my TikTok shop, and then the new inventory I'll put onto my website and maybe like a couple of my TikTok, I don't know. But it's been a very productive day, it's been great. I also only did like 6% of reading this book, so we're 21% of the way through. So we haven't read that much this week, but hopefully we'll make up for it later. Happy Wednesday. Excuse my hair, my headphones just got stuck and I had to pull it out. I just got back from my run. It is 5 o'clock. I ran for an hour. I just walked the last like 12 minutes or so, which is why I'm not as red as I would have been. But if you've been following my journey, I stopped training for my marathon for like 5-6 weeks, too long. And then I got back into it last week with like 1 hour runs every like 2-ish days or so. 2-3 days. Actually, I haven't done that many. I've done 2 before. The first one I did 4.23 miles. And the first mile was in the 15 minutes. The second one I did 4.12 miles, and the first 2 miles were in the 15 minutes. So it was not going well. Today, TMI, second day of my period. But today, I did 4.61 miles, which I'm shocked by because the first mile and a half to 2 miles, I was literally like, I need to give up. Like, it's just not going well for me. To be fair, I heard this before where it's really the first 30 minutes of your run that's the worst. Once you get past that, then the ball just fell. Once you get past that, then you're fine. And that is kind of what happened. Plus, the last 2, I didn't do a guided run. And today I did the guided run. And I do like the guided runs more because, 1, he's just chatterboxing, so he distracts you, but he doesn't distract you the whole time. So you still get moments with just music. But also he like comes in to tell you what time you're at, like 12 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever. But he doesn't give you miles because obviously everyone's 25 minutes will be a different mileage. So I think that also helps. because when I finished my 1 hour and I checked my stats, all of my miles were in the 13 minutes, in the low 13 minutes too, which is the pace I want to have for my marathon. But realistically, I don't know if I could keep that for like 5.5 hours. So, because I'd have to 5.5 times longer than I did today. So I don't know if I could do that. But I'm very happy with the way it went. Now, I didn't update you with anything else today. Today I went to my real estate meeting in the morning, as I do every Wednesday. And then I went to the coffee shop and I worked on 2 scenes. I wanted to do 3, but the next 2 scenes were brand new scenes that I had to write. There were people talking right next to me and they wouldn't shut up. They were so annoying. So I couldn't concentrate enough to get into that. So I just went to the 2 next scenes, which were edits. One of them, I don't know why I count it as a scene, it was like 300 words, but still it's a scene. The one above that was like 2,500 words though. So we did almost 3,000 words still today. So I did that. And then I was supposed to spend the rest of my time at the coffee shop reading after this trailer. I didn't. I instead took out my randoms journal. I just dump everything in that. And I started calculating like how much money I have to make with books, how much I have to make with real estate, like trying to get actual numbers and what that would equate to, like to make this much for real estate at 3%, because I always calculated 3%. Might be 2.5, you never know. How many houses, how much in house number do you have to sell, like how many millions of dollars, and then how much does that equate to per month? Because obviously that doesn't mean you have to do it per month, but if like you sell $1 million but your goal was 400,000 a month, that means that's good for you for the next 2.5 months, you know, you get it. So I started calculating all that, and then my brother and my sister-in-law picked me up with my nephew. We came here. They've been doing their own thing. I went for my run. My brother and my nephew are gone now. My sister-in-law's working out in the back because we have that gym section that's still not clean, but it's there. But yeah, and then I have an hour to chill and relax. I don't have any food though, so I don't really feel like going to get food. I might just grab my protein with those little meat sticks that we have. And then I teach 2 classes tonight. We're having a very productive week this week. I'm so proud. Hello, it's about to be 4 p.m. I'm about to go for my run, but I was at the coffee shop this morning for 2 hours and I got 5 scenes done. 2 brand new written scenes, 3 edits. So it's been a great day. Yo, I thought it was gonna be cooler today. It's like 79, 80 degrees. I usually do 81. I'm dying. I'm only 3 miles in and I'm absolutely dying. The sun is beating down. It's torture. Because I think because the high temperature today was 81 degrees, I told myself it was going to be a really cool day, even though it's still not cool because the highest temperature I ever really run in is 81 degrees. So because I went into it thinking it was going to be cool, I went into it thinking it was going to be a little bit easier. That shit was torture. And there was like no shade, because usually I find the shade areas to run on the streets. But because I'm doing loops today around a few blocks, there was like almost no shade until around 3.5 miles. There's one spot that was like shade the whole way, and the breeze would come in during that shade too. Oh, every time I got to that, I was like living. But positives here is this is my 4th one since I started retraining 2.5 weeks before my marathon. My first 3 were all just 1 hour, straight 1 hour. This one was an hour and a half, basically, an hour 29 minutes. Essentially this one I just did 10K. I didn't have a goal in mind. I literally wanted to run. To be fair, I did. I had 13 to 26 laps in mine, which would have been like, I don't know, 7.5 miles and up, something like that. At 6, I was literally gonna give up before 6, but then I was like, oh, let me just make it 10K. But anyway, the first hour run back to training, I did 4.23 miles. Second hour was 4.16. Yesterday, the third one was 4.61. That one was the best. This one, the first, I checked it at exactly 1 hour. We're at 4.25. So technically, that version, we did better than the first 2, but in general, I felt awful. I do think also those first 3 were on the west side. This one's in the valley. The west side, even though technically I'm not by the beach, is still getting ocean breeze. And then to get to the valley, you have to cross the hill, And when the breeze hits the hill, it stops coming, so it doesn't come into the valley, so you don't really get an actual breeze. I have a little bit right now because I'm by the pool. But I've never been more thankful for myself choosing my first marathon by the beach than I am now, because I'll get an ocean breeze. Also, my headphones died at 6.08 miles, so right before my 10K finished. I do think it's because I only charged it for like 20 minutes yesterday. It was like completely dead. I charged it for like 20 minutes yesterday before going for my run, and I haven't charged it since. But yesterday when I took it off charge, it said high, like battery high. And total, I've used it 2.5, maybe 2 hours, like 45, 3 hours. And it's dead already. That's not gonna work out. Good thing is, I do plan on having my portable charger with me because my phone is also dying. But happy Friday. It is 10:16 a.m. I just got to the studio. I did not have morning classes this morning just because the schedule's changing, all sorts of stuff. But I just got to the studio, and the plan for today was to do a 10 scene day on YouTube Live. So I did bring my laptop so I can go on YouTube Live. I brought my iPad so that I could do the 10 scenes. I did 5 scenes yesterday. The 5 scenes I did yesterday, one of them was really short. 3 of them were edits, 2 were brand new scenes. One of the edits was very short. So there already 1 scene there. And then the other 2 scenes that I edited were, I turned one of them from like 660 words to like 930. That one, I already liked the way it was at 660, but there was a brand new scene I had to add before that I still haven't added, by the way. And it just didn't go with that scene. So I just have to tweak it a little bit. And I just really like the way it is now. It does add a little bit more romance into it without adding romance, you know? It's kind of like a soft way of adding romance into it. And then, what was the other scene that I had to edit? I don't remember. But it was basically those 3 scenes for that one chapter. And then for a different chapter, I had to write 2 brand new scenes. One of them was Tali, our main female character, her relationship with Old Tongue, which is the language that she's translating. So it was basically her history with it and like how it came to be. And then it was a scene with Locke, our main male character, working in the smithy because he's a blacksmith. Well, he's one of the things he does is a blacksmith. So he's working in the smithy. So you get a little bit of history on him. That one's a shorter scene for now, at least. But you get a little bit of history on him too. So those were the 5 scenes I worked on yesterday. It was a great time. All right. So assuming I write those 2 scenes that I skipped yesterday. Here's the thing. One of those 2 scenes is supposed to be pretty sad. And I don't know if I'm in the mindset for that right now. So we might still skip that entirely. By the way, if you're wondering, it's that, I think it was this week or maybe last week, I added a brand new chapter to add 2 scenes. These are the 2 scenes. And I don't think I'm in the headspace for them today. But other than this, assume we skip those 2, let's do that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it'll go up to that. So out of those 10 scenes, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 of them will be brand new scenes. 6 of them will be edits. Which actually, I do like that switch around, not switch around, ratio, that ratio. So yeah, that will be the goal. And I don't have to do them in order. I just usually prefer to do stuff in order because then the storyline like progresses in the same headspace that you're supposed to be progressing in, rather than like jumping to a different headspace and then going backwards, which is why I'm nervous about writing Faith, because I essentially jumped the whole headspace to get to Beasts. So now I'm gonna go backwards to get to everybody's headspace before Beasts started. That's why I'm nervous, but currently we have all of this to do. I don't know how many scenes we have. I still haven't counted. Assuming I put no more scenes in, I'm guessing like 60 or so, 70, 65 scenes left in Beasts, not counting the 10 from today. And then right now, approximately like 17 to 20 for Faith. So I'm thinking, once we're done with this, I might do a day like today, if I actually end up doing it today, where I literally just try to write out like 5 to 10 scenes each time for Faith. That is what I'm thinking. But also October is gonna be kind of busy for me. So for October 1, I have my marathon weekend. So the 4th, we drive out to Long Beach, which is like 40 minutes. And then the 5th, I just found out the marathon starts at 5:30 in the morning. I thought it was 6, not that big of a difference, but still. So on the 5th, I have my marathon. So in a week. So that's that first weekend. The second weekend is my birthday weekend, which doesn't really mean much. But on my birthday, my real estate office is doing a pet adoption thing at a park pretty close to me. So I'm gonna be there volunteering. I know I'm not a pet person. I like pets. I'm just not a pet person. So I could still spend my birthday doing that. But then I also found out there's like some type of book fair. I think it's in Glendale or Burbank or Pasadena. I don't remember. Somewhere on that side. So I might go to that. I think it's Glendale. So I might go to that as well because it's on my birthday. So that's what I have planned for that day. And then the 14th at night, so really the 15th, 14th at like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, I fly out to Boston so I can get there on the 15th morning. And then 15, 16, 17, 18, I'm gonna be in Boston, see my old roommate, see her baby, and just hang out. And then I'll be back, and I still haven't booked our tickets, but my family's gonna go to the jack-o'-lantern thing, which is like this park that they put a bunch of pumpkins with lights and stuff. We're gonna do that in Boston too, because that's when I originally did it. My old roommate took me to that. And then I found out they have them in LA, so I need to buy tickets for my family, because we went last year and it was great. And then we are also switching up the Pilates schedule a little bit, so I will probably, my Fridays are basically gonna change, because we want to test out different times and all. So I currently teach 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Friday mornings, but one of our other instructors wants those times, and I'm cool with giving them, as long as my brother is like cool with paying for it and stuff, because he doesn't pay me, he pays the other instructors. I'm cool with it. But I also teach 6 and 7 p.m. on Friday nights. But these last few weeks, we've noticed those don't really get booked up. Yes, tonight, 7 p.m. I have a booking, but it's also only one person. And currently it's just that, 6 isn't booked yet. Whereas my night classes tend to be the ones that are booked. So we're canceling those, and then we're gonna drop it down. And I think we're gonna try out 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 12 p.m. because usually those don't get booked throughout the week. So we canceled those throughout the week, but we're thinking maybe on Fridays it'll start getting booked, because it's more like a weekend thing. And on weekends, those times are more likely to get booked. So we're just playing around. So I think, starting next week, my Fridays are gonna be 10, 11, 12. So I'll probably be here by like 9:30. Do my classes first, as long as they're booked. If they're not booked, then I just start working. But then if they are booked, by 1 p.m. I'll be done, and then start working. So either way, it'll be like that. It'll just be what time I could start doing my other work, and then what time I would leave the studio, because I would no longer have to stay until 8 p.m. I don't know. But all that to say, I'm trying to schedule in my writing as much as possible. This is a hugely long update. I'm so sorry. Trying to schedule my writing as much as possible, and to do those big chunks of Faith and Beasts. But to do those, I feel like Fridays are gonna work out the best for me, just because I'm already at the studio and no one else has to be here. Whereas Thursdays are gonna work out great because I could be at the coffee shop. I could technically be at the studio too, but other people work on Thursdays, so the other people would be here. It's a give and take. Until I have my own place where I could do this in the comfortability of my own place, I have to deal with it this way. Also, yesterday I was looking up Ireland marathons again for 2026 randomly, because I know of the Connemara one. The Connemara one was the one I was thinking about doing, but also I don't really want to, because it's like on the field, the Connemara one, and there's, I don't remember what the castle's called, but some castle one, But I was like, those don't feel like the terrain I want to be running on as a beginner right now. But so just looking at them, I was just like, what else is there? Most of them, pretty much all of them, are in like April, May. They're at the beginning of the year, which is when I wanted them. Because I wanted to go to Ireland around that time. But turns out the Dublin Marathon is in October. The Dublin Marathon is actually in 1 month. It's exactly 1 month from today, I think. So, assuming it's gonna be the last Sunday of October next year, I'm gonna do the Dublin Marathon, because that'll mean the marathon's gonna be on the 25th of October, 2026. And that means I could do a birthday trip again for my 27th birthday, like I did for my 23rd birthday. My 23rd birthday, I went to the UK. I went to London / I traveled around England, but I went to London for October, so that's where I spent my birthday. And then I went to Edinburgh for November. So not as big, not as much time, but I'm thinking if I fly out on like get there on like the 9th maybe of October, so jet lag can go away. By the time my birthday comes around on the 11th, spend my birthday there, and I spend like 2 weeks traveling and like, you know, taking it all in. And then on like the 24th, possibly, maybe 23rd, but 24th probably, settle into Dublin so that I can pick up my babe and, you know, just get ready. And then 25th run the marathon. And then I'm thinking 27th or maybe 28th, leave, come back to America, just because I know I'll probably want recovery time. So I'm not gonna leave the day after. But that one actually feels right. Like that one feels like that. Those are the dates that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna start, not today, but I'm gonna start planning out my trip that way and deciding, are we gonna start off in London? Because also next year it marks 3 years again where I have to be back in London. This is arbitrary. I told myself this because it just happened that I was going every 3 years, and now I have to go every 3 years. So next year will be the 3rd year. So I have to be back. So I'm thinking maybe fly into London, spend the first few days, not even a week, like first like 4 or 5 days. So I will spend my birthday there in London, and then hit some of England maybe, or go straight up to Edinburgh. Yeah, that's actually probably what I would do. I would probably do like 3 to 4 days in London / surrounding. Go up to Scotland, 3 to 4 days there / surrounding, probably like 3 days. And then fly over to Ireland and do a week there, and then finish it off in Dublin. Dublin is, by the way, the one I'm least excited about saying in Ireland, but it's also where the marathon's at. And I looked at the route and it looks fun. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the itinerary. I still need to plan it out. But that just, it's one step closer, because my 2025 bingo, I have not been doing it recently, by the way. I've not been keeping up with it. I think I'm like 7 out of 49 things done. So not even close. But one of them is to plan out my UK and Ireland trip. And I started it a few months ago, but those were like, I was just thinking about it. This feels right. This feels like next month. I think it starts next month. When the tickets go on sale for the Dublin Marathon, I will be buying mine. We'll see. Anyway, it is 10:30 and I need to start my 10 scenes. I just counted, by the way, I have 53 scenes left of Beasts. Big shocker, I'm getting distracted and I'm not turning on my live and I'm not starting. Big shock. I really should have taught this more. I mean, it's not my fault, there were no classes, but I'm just not in the right headspace. Oh, big shock, big shock. You guys, I just posted on my 2 TikToks, the 2 nelly.alikyan ones. I don't really post it very much. I remember a few weeks ago when I was like, I'm a big content creator for all of these things. Yeah, I stopped doing that within like a week. But anyway, I just posted it and TikTok chose a song for me, and it chose The Way She Burns by Raven Knight. It's made for romanticy. It really is. It's a great one. Another update I want to ask for is 12:30, and I've done 750 words of editing for a scene. Technically, I guess it's 2 scenes because in my outline I have it written as 2 scenes, even though it's 1 scene. So I don't know why I did that. Because I mean, it's like 2 scenes if you count the flashback as a separate scene. So 750 words of that first part. And then I'm about to get into the next one in like 300, 400 words. So this chapter has like 2,700 words to edit. So it'll probably end up being like 3,000, let's call it. And then there's a short scene that I need to add at the end of it. So let's call it 3,000 to 3,500 words this one will be. And that'll be 3 scenes done for chapter 10, because I skipped a few chapters. So right now we're just gonna have to do as many chapters as we can. Do as many scenes as we can, that's what I meant. Because I'm not getting on YouTube Live. Clearly I'm not. Because I'm too distracted. Like, I love doing YouTube Live, but I have to be doing the work. Like, I have to be in the moment, and I'm getting too distracted. I'm thinking about my last night, this ruined it. Thinking about my travels. I'm thinking about the marathon next weekend. I'm thinking about the marathon for next year. I'm thinking about all sorts of other stuff. So, there's just too much going on up here. I also could be using this time to read, because I have not been reading properly this week. But again, too much going on up here. It's 2:18. I have not done any more work. So it's still at that 750 word edit. I do now have 6 p.m. booked as well. So 6 and 7 are booked. 6 p.m. between checking it and being 0 and checking again, there were 3 people added. So that was great. They're all regulars. So I do know all of them. But wow, I lost my train of thought. I spent that time instead of working. I lightly started planning out the UK Ireland trip. Basically, I went back, if you go back like 2 months to when I was planning it originally, I basically copied all of that and just changed dates to see what the dates would be. I didn't really focus on it. Maybe took like 20 minutes on it. And then I went onto my bingo sheet and I started writing out ideas for 2026. A lot of it is the same. It's either stuff that I didn't get done this year or I want to do again this next year. So like stuff I didn't get done would be getting the middle splits. Stuff that I would want to like redo would be doing another marathon, you know, stuff like that. So then I did a little bit of that. And then I went on to my finances. And I'm pretty good at keeping up with my finances, and I'm pretty good at not being in debt. I have 1 credit card and I pay it off every single month. So I'm like, that's not a problem for me. I was also very, very lucky that my mom paid for my entire university tuition, pay like everything that had to go with that. So I also don't have student debt. Like, we were all very lucky that our mom paid for all of our schoolings. So I also don't have that. But I have a couple of things where they're not big debts. They're more like, they're not even real debts. They're me imposing debts on myself. So it's money that I took out of my savings account to pay for my Pilates certification. Technically, by the way, the 6 p.m. class will officially have my Pilates certification paid off at the lower rate because it's a new studio, if I were getting paid. Because I'm not getting paid, it doesn't really count. But if I were getting paid today, it would have been the payoff at 150 classes at a very low rate, but still. But that one, my father has been gave me a little bit of money for. So if he gives me the rest, then I'll just cancel that. If he doesn't, then whenever I do start getting paid for Pilates, that one's gonna get paid off first. Then there's a real estate one that's similar thing where I took money out of my savings to pay for the initial starts and everything that goes into real estate, because a few $1,000s. And that one is specifically going to be from when I saw a house. Like when I saw my first house, after saving taxes, saving for future expenses, saving a little bit for investment, because I do love the Dave Ramsey save 15% thing, because then it forces you, and you can like count it as like a tax, even though it's not, and forces you to save it. But then whatever money's left over, I can pay off put that money back in my savings because it's supposed to be there. Then the rest are, again, imposed on myself. It's little things, not little, but like things that my mom has paid for that I'm like, I should have been the one paying for this. So I just want to give it back. So it's probably like, yeah, like $6,000 worth of the stuff there. And then back rent to my mom just because she told me not to pay it, but I feel bad not doing it. So just a few $1,000s for back rent. So yeah, those can come from like any income. The real estate one needs to come from real estate. The Pilates one needs to come from Pilates, just because like I paid for that specific thing, so that specific thing should be able to pay for it. After all that, then I'll be able to save for my Ireland UK trip. But now that I have the number set out, the Ireland UK trip, by the way, I just made up a number, and I do think it's way too high, but I just made up a number and went high just in case. So that one doesn't really matter because I have to pay for everything else first. But now that I have like specific things I want to pay for, I then went and calculated how much more money I need for presents for this year, because my family, most of our birthdays are in the second half of the year, and then there's Christmas. Now usually everybody gets a Christmas present. This year I'm hoping people stick to it, because my family has a thing of not sticking to stuff, and I'm a little bit closer to type A. You know, it'll piss me off if people don't stick to what we agreed on. But this year we're planning on doing like a Secret Santa, so that everyone just has to buy one present instead of like 10. And then we can really focus on getting that one present being a really good one, rather than like 10 okay presents. So then I calculated all of that. Again, I'm estimating up, because I'd rather expect to pay more and pay less than expect to pay less and pay more. So I'm expecting like maybe $700 for presents, maybe. So now, instead of working, I'm gonna go in and kind of calculate. It's hard to calculate when I have no current prospects for selling a house, so I don't, like, there's no way for me to calculate the selling the house portion, and like when it'll happen, how much the house is going to be worth, what percentage I'm going to be selling it. Like, a lot of things go into that, so you can't really calculate it. Now, if I had prospects of some sort, then it'd be a little different, because then I could be like, oh, well, I already have a buyer looking for a $800,000 house, so I can estimate, hopefully by November we'll have that done. I have a buyer looking for a $1.3 million house, so I can estimate by October, by December, whatever. You know, so those you can start to estimate, but I don't have anything like that right now. And then the Pilates, I also can't really estimate, because I'm not going to take payment from this studio until they're breaking even. So they would have to get rent, utilities / other miscellaneous costs, and the other instructors paid, and marketing. All of that paid before, well, that paid at a break even, at a profit, before they can start paying me. Because once they are at profit with all 4 of those paid, then I'm like, okay, well, now I need to be paid. And then once they're at profit at that, then they take profits. But you get it? So, like, I'm not gonna do that until they're at break even / profits. So it's hard for me to calculate. And then all I have is that little bit of admin work, which doesn't make a lot of money, that literally pretty much covers my month-to-month costs. But I am cutting down my month-to-month costs because everything's already paid for this month. So next month. So that should probably save me a couple $100 maybe. But I don't know. No, because I want to start paying this down, because I hate it. It's not like, here's the thing, it's not even real debt. I can't even imagine the pressure of having the real debt, because this is just self-imposed. I can pay this whenever I want. To be fair, everything that's going to my mom, she don't even know about. It's like, she don't know I'm gonna pay her back. So, hello, I'm literally packing because I need to leave. But I just finished my 2 classes, and my 7 p.m. was one of my regulars who I haven't seen in a few weeks. I love her. It was just me and her. Oh, we have so much fun together. Happy Saturday. I just got back home. I taught 2 classes this morning. I am now going to probably like get ready, get settled. I have an open house in like 2 hours, 3 hours, so. It's 1:30. I'm at my open house, and when I tell you something about this place feels so right, it's the same penthouse as last week. I literally walked in, like I put the key in, I walked in, and it felt like I was walking into my place. Like it just felt like I was coming home from work. And I put my bag down, and just, like I walked to a room because I was turning on all the lights and stuff. It feels like I'm home. Oh, it just feels so nice in here, and I can just imagine being in this kitchen and like rolling out dough here. Oh my god, I love it. Guys, I'm not sure if they were a couple or just friends, but I just had men and women come in, and then one of the neighbors come in, and all of them were in the medical field. So they just spent, I'll tell you how long, an hour. I kid you not, they just spent an hour in here talking medical stuff, and I was just vibing with them. The neighbor who came in basically was helping me sell this place. She was just giving me all the information, because obviously they want someone they're gonna like, they want someone to buy it, you know, all that stuff. But they came, the guy and the girl, they came at 1:57. I got the call at 1:57 because it was supposed to start at 2. It's currently 3:05. I thought it was like half an hour. Apparently it was an hour. It was a great time though. They were amazing people. I loved them. Happy Sunday. It's 2 p.m. We are soon gonna start my nephew's birthday party, but we went to church this morning, and then we came home, and then we went to a little open house because my mom wanted to go see it. And now she's thinking about putting an offer in, so we might soon have our first sale. We'll see. But we're gonna go celebrate the little birthday. It's a Paw Patrol birthday because my nephew loves Paw Patrol. And then next week you might see some more real estate stuff.